I'm Alex Desnick, and this is the Taste of the Northwest. Today I am cooking with Rolando Diaz, owner and chef of Marna's Catering. What exactly is Marna's Catering?
So Marna's Catering is we're the only catering company in Minnesota that offers authentic Costa Rican food.
Okay.
I'm from Costa Rica. I grew up there for about 20 years. So I grew up around fresh ingredients all the time. So my take on when we started the business was to offer some of those flavors here. Using some of the ingredients from farmers markets and things like that. So the main focus on it, we do, I said 80% of our business, we do weddings. And then our food, we just take it and we just throw a Latin twist on all the items. So it's an American dish with Latin twist and all that.
I'm not super familiar with Costa Rican food. What would you say are some like really famous dishes or things that you cook with a lot?
Yeah, so if you had, Mexican food, compared to Costa Rican food, it's a little more of a lighter dish. So we don't use a lot of cheese or a lot of heavy sauces. So we use more of a lot of rice, beans, plantains, yuca, fish, and then cabbage and tomatoes and things like that. So
awesome.
Yeah, good fresh stuff that keeps you lean.
There's nothing wrong with that. Well, let's get going on that steak.
All right, sounds good. So what I'll have is I have a New York strip. And then I love a New York strip just medium rare. So I think the best part of a steak.
Best way to eat it.
Yeah, so I have a really great New York strip. I think the best way to cook them, obviously you want to let them sit for a little bit, maybe about, I don't know, I'd say maybe 20 minutes before it hits the steak, before it hits the pan. I think it's really important that the meat, it enters the pan nice and relaxed. Because it helps the steak not to curl up and to tighten up as it cooks. Room temp. So I like to put some coarse, black pepper in there.
Only way to do it.
So I like to kind of push it in there. You guarantee seasoning there. It's not going to just stick in the pan and you end up with a bunch of just dark grains in the pan. So start with some olive oil. The reason I start with olive oil because olive oil has more of a high intensity heat. So it doesn't burn as quick if you were just going to add straight up butter.
And it's got a good flavor.
It's got good flavor. And then, so we throw the butter after, we're gonna baste it a little bit.
That's the way to do it.
So, have the pan, and then at the same time I have that going, I'm gonna have some, we're gonna do a you-can-go arugula mashed potato. So that's gonna complement the steak really well. So I'm gonna steam those off really quick here. So I have those potatoes. While those are steaming off, we're gonna actually wait for the pan to get really nice and hot. The key is, don't put a steak on a pan if it's not hot.
It's gotta be smoking.
Because otherwise you're gonna just boil the steak and then you don't get no color, no flavor. So the key is just wait till your pan, it's just to be patient. While that's heating up, I'm gonna make a sweet sour chili sauce that's gonna go on top of the steak.
Sounds great.
So I'm gonna melt some of the butter and I'm gonna add a little bit of olive oil. So the two together are the oil is gonna help the butter not burn. So then we wanna get that one nice and hot. So I already cut in advance some red onions and some red peppers. So we'll get that one nice and hot. So I'm gonna saute those for a little bit. I'm gonna add some salt, a little bit of sugar. The sugar is gonna help the peppers break down a little bit. And it's gonna caramelize. We're gonna add some
sweetness.
We're gonna add some red wine vinegar. So that we got nice and hot.
And then you got your sours, so you got
and then we got the tanginess from that. So and then it's gonna be delicious. So we're gonna saute this quick. We're gonna have also some asparagus. Actually, we got those. So we're gonna do lemon asparagus. We're gonna just barely cook these guys. I'm just gonna saute them a little bit in some olive oil.
It's a crime to overcook them.
And then we're just gonna add them to a pan with some butter. Saute them. We're gonna add some lemon zest. And a little bit of lemon juice.
That sounds awesome.
So we'll cut these guys right here. Discard the ends. You can make a soup with these guys.
That's great for making soup.
Yeah, you can save them, make a soup.
Puree.
If you don't want them, otherwise, do what I just did and throw them away. All right, so these guys are sauteing, they look great. So we're gonna add about a tablespoon of sugar. So again, the sugar is going to help this get nice and caramelized.
Yep.
It's going to start breaking down some of that sugar, getting some of the sugar out of the peppers. So I'm going to add a little bit of salt and pepper. See, this guy's right there. All right, we got the steak. Always throw it away from you.
Don't want that grease on you.
Yeah, if you throw it the other way, you know, you can get some of that oil splash on you, and you're going to get some burns on your face.
You don't want that.
Now, so this is what we want to hear.
Yeah, that's
we want to hear a good sizzle. Now, leave it alone.
Yep.
Leave it alone.
Don't fuss with it.
No, yeah.
Everyone with the grills, they keep poking at it.
They're poking it, yeah. It's like, you know, when you think about it, it's like this balloon. You're building a lot of heat inside of it. And once you poke through it, you let all of that juice just come out.
Yep.
And you end up just killing it there. So we got this going on. We're going to add
vinegar.
The red wine vinegar.
Yep.
So we're going to add some of that in there.
So smelling fantastic over here.
Yeah, so we're going to have this going on here. So we're going to let that reduce a little bit.
Okay.
So I have some fresh rosemary.
Yep.
I love rosemary with the steak.
Oh yeah,
I think
classic.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just grab a little bit of that rosemary. Once that's reduced up a little bit, I'm going to throw the rosemary towards the end.
Okay.
To kind of just
give it a whole
another
pop.
twist. Yeah, just throw a curveball in there. So that's reducing in there. Some tongs. You can hear that.
Oh, that's.
You can hear that good sizzle in there.
Nothing like a steak sizzling.
Oh yeah. So in there, we got our potatoes steaming. So I like to steam my potatoes. I think it just keeps the potato drier.
Yep, less water.
So less water you have to deal with when you're making a mash. So you get more of a creamy texture in there.
Definitely.
All right, so these guys, you see it's
looking
not a whole
beautiful.
lot. Yeah, just you can see the peppers are starting to get there. The onions are nice and caramelized.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
So then we got that going in there. So what I'll do is that it doesn't hurt anybody. I'm gonna add a little more butter.
Oh yeah.
The butter is going to give these a little more of a richness to it.
Oh yeah. So
we got that going there. So now, this is what we're looking for.
Oh, look at that crust.
Look at that crust. I mean, you almost, you know.
That's beautiful.
It looks great. So when we sear that, now we leave it alone. Now you see how the meat was more of room temperature.
Yep.
You see how the steak is still flat.
Yep.
It's not
no curling.
Curled up. So yeah, it cooks evenly. And then it's a lot better. So we got the butter. Now you see this started to look all shiny.
Yep.
All the butter is doing all the work. And then now we got these here. I'm gonna leave that alone there for a second. Turn the heat down. All right, so we got the steak here. We're gonna leave that going. So now for the mash, I like to just use some butter and cream.
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple. Besides the arugula and everything else, what I do is that I actually just add the butter in the cream and I melt those together.
Oh, okay.
Instead of adding that into the mixing bowl, because it gives it a more of a creamy texture. You have a guarantee mixture that is already combined prior to throwing it into the potatoes.
That makes sense.
So for sure you will have a great combination in there. So we have that mother red wine vinegar reduced in there.
Yep.
So we add our rosemary.
Yep.
And then we're just gonna give it like a 30-second.
Just let those herbs, those oils come out.
Let that just get there nice and happy in there. Now I have some cream.
Yep.
And the butter is going there.
Yep.
Better hurry. There you go.
There we go.
All right, so that butter got a little brown, but nothing wrong with that.
Just a little extra nuttiness.
Just a little nuttiness. So now you can see in there. So now these fat, Ryan, you see, this is in New York. Well, this is a Kansas because he has a bone in it.
Yep.
So on this steak, I like to just go ahead and just kind of give it a little bit of a sear.
That's a great thing to do,
towards the end on there, because that fat
it'll lock
adds a lot of flavor. So once you sear it a little bit, you get more of that caramelization in there.
And it'll lock those juices in.
Exactly, yeah. So we have that. Lastly, I just throw a little more butter in there.
Why not?
Yeah, on the steak. Now we add the butter in there. And what we're gonna do is just baste it a little bit.
Yep.
So the basting part is gonna speed up the process, and it's gonna also keep some of that moisture on top.
Super juicy.
So that guy right there looks, oh my goodness.
That's how it's supposed to look.
Yeah, so you still have a nice crust in there, and it's looking great. Now we get this guy out. we're gonna let it rest a second in the same pan. Asparagus.
Why not get all those flavors in that
Exactly.
asparagus?
Just get those guys right in there. So I got the butter and the cream.
Yep.
Going in there. Actually, this guy. Let me just go ahead and. So we're gonna use these guys in the same one.
Yep.
Saute those up. Let those guys get nice and happy in there. I got the potatoes ready to roll.
Yep.
They're nice and steamed.
Okay. Keep some of that extra water out of
Yeah,
there.
absolutely. Just grab it. Throw them in the mixer.
Yep.
Got our potatoes in there. Now we have.
You want me to?
Some of that butter and cream.
Yep.
We throw a little bit of that in there. All right. And then we're going to put a little bit of the
arugula, a little peppery note.
Yeah,
freshness.
Some great. It brings it to a whole different level.
And it's good for you too.
Exactly. Yeah. Nothing. This is a good way to sneak some green into the kids' meal.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's a good point.
So we're going to add those guys in there. Give this guy a toss. A little bit of salt.
Gotta have salt with the potatoes.
Absolutely. And then lastly, I put a little bit of white pepper.
Oh yeah.
White pepper has it gives it a little bit of a spiciness to it.
Yep.
That takes it to a different level.
Yeah.
So we have this going on here. Just give it a quick whip. Let those potatoes make sure they stay in your bowl.
Yeah.
They're anxious.
Oh man, that butter, you can smell that.
Yeah, so we got that. Maybe add a little more. Make sure we get a good creamy texture.
Nice and creamy.
Yeah. All right, those guys are ready. So now we got the asparagus, and this is what we're gonna do. I have a lemon right here.
Okay.
I have a zester.
Yep. Those microplanes are fantastic.
Yeah, oh yeah. So we're just gonna shave off some of the lemon zest right on top.
Yep.
The lemon juice alone is good, but the lemon zest
that has more lemon flavor.
Make sure it tastes like lemon.
Yep.
And then we just add a little bit of lemon in there.
Beautiful.
This guy right there.
That smell is fantastic.
Now don't forget to season.
Yep.
Some salt. All right, we got those. So now, this is my favorite part, the plating process.
Make her look pretty.
And I'm sure this is your favorite part too, because you get to
yeah,
try
this is the eating process too.
You get to try it. So this is a Kansas steak, so
it has
that bone in there.
More flavor.
So, you obviously want to let the steak rest.
Yep.
Just about as long as it took to cook.
Yep.
So you see we got a nice,
that's beautiful,
beautiful rare color in there. So you're just gonna cut some of those long strips. Let's leave this guy nice. All right, so we got the arugula mash. Grab a quick spoon here. Now this is easy. This is easy. I mean, you saw me, I did this in 4 minutes, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So we got the mash. You can go arugula mashed potato.
Yep.
We have our asparagus.
Man, those look nice.
Some nice asparagus right there. You can see the nice color that it took from the steak.
Yep.
And the butter that was in it.
Nothing but extra flavor.
Exactly. And now we got all this beautiful steak. Just gonna lay it right on there.
That is gorgeous. And
the people see the
last but not least, don't forget that sauce.
Oh yes, sir. You can't forget that. So you see how this is all nice and caramelized?
Oh yeah.
Just gonna throw these right on there.
That is beautiful.
And you can garnish this with whatever you want.
Yeah.
I like to put sometimes any herbs in there. We just throw it in there.
Yeah.
And this is a sear steak New York strip with the sweet and sour. Just give it a try.
Yeah.
Tell me,
I'm gonna.
Just tell me what you think. Let people know what it actually tastes like.
Just say I don't gotta.
I don't have to twist your arm.
No, you do not have to twist my arm here. I'm gonna try a little bit of.
Yeah, just give it a little try and see what you think.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, you see just a little bit of the lemon.
Lemon is great. That sweet and sour is amazing. Yeah. That butter and the
can't go wrong
great.
with butter.
Yeah, it's got a great texture. Potatoes are super, super creamy, and I got it here. I don't have a knife.
You gotta have
yeah. Carve me off
here,
a little piece here.
Yeah, a piece here.
You gotta try that steak.
You gotta try this steak. There you go. It's got a little bit of that fat in there too.
Yeah. Here, I'm gonna get a little more of these peppers on here.
Yeah, just get it in there. All right.
Oh yeah.
His face just changed.
That is beautiful. That is beautiful. And juicy.
Yeah.
Beautiful crust.
Yeah. So this is the key. Just let it relax.
I like everything was properly seasoned.
Yeah.
That's like a big thing I think a lot of people don't do.
And then what's simple is you decide it's just salt and pepper. Really.
Yeah, that's all it is.
It's salt and pepper. Just if you buy good ingredients, you let the ingredient just shine by itself. By adding simple ingredients.
That's
like
all
salt
it takes.
And pepper. You just got to bring them back to life, and that's it.
It's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. So.
Well, thank you so much
Absolutely.
for being here.
It was great being here. I really enjoyed it.
And if anyone's got any sort of weddings or any sort of catering events coming up, how can people reach you?
So they can contact us on our website.
Yep.
It's just marnascatering.com, or they can also contact us by phone.
Okay.
612-432-0562. Otherwise, our email, which is sabor@marnascatering.com. So that's SABOR.
Okay.
So which is flavor in English.
Oh, there you go. All right.
So yeah, absolutely. So it was fun, and you guys got the melon too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
we got to get a quick shot of this melon before.
Oh yeah. So we do custom. We give complimentary carvings to all the weddings. So we do. We carve their names or hearts or whatever they want.
That is unbelievable.
So we there's a complimentary item for every wedding that we do. So it's
that's good to know.
It's a custom-made piece for a wedding that
Yeah. My name is Alex Desnick, and this has been Taste of the Northwest.